Hola a todos, soy Señorita Langevine. Hello everyone, I am Miss Langevine. Welcome to my grade 7 Spanish class. In today's lesson, we will be looking at some more greetings in Spanish. In our previous lesson, we looked at some basic greetings and you also learned how to welcome others in Spanish. We will begin this lesson by reviewing 2 dialogues. I'm going to read the dialogues and I want you to pay attention as I pronounce the new vocabulary, and you can repeat after me as well. So dialogue A is between Eduardo and Ramon. So Eduardo says, "Hola, Ramon." Ramon responds, "Hola, Eduardo." Eduardo asks, "¿Cómo estás?" Ramon says, "Muy bien, gracias." Dialogue B is between Eduardo and Señorita Elena. Eduardo says, "Buenos días, Señorita Elena." Señorita Elena responds and says, "Buenos días, Eduardo." Eduardo asks, "¿Cómo está usted?" Señorita Elena responds, "Bien, gracias." So here are the vocabulary from the dialogue. ¿Cómo estás? How are you? And this is used with friends or family. ¿Cómo está usted? How are you as well in Spanish, but this is more formal, used with strangers or persons who are more senior to you. So I will go that over again. There are 2 ways of asking how are you in Spanish. You can ask ¿Cómo estás? Or ¿Cómo está usted? There are 2 ways of saying you in Spanish. There's tú and usted. The tú is more informal when you're speaking to a friend, a family member, or someone you know. And the usted is the you for being polite, someone who's older than you or someone who's in a senior position. Remember that. So the 2 ways of saying, asking, how are you in Spanish? ¿Cómo estás? That's used with friends or family or your classmates. Or ¿Cómo está usted? How are you? More formal, being polite, used with strangers or more senior persons. Bien, gracias, that is well, thanks. Muy bien, it's very well in Spanish. Señor is for sir, and señorita is for miss. After you greet someone, you'll want to ask how they are or how it's going. Here are some common questions that follow a greeting in addition to how are you. So we know how are you is. What are the 2 ways of asking how are you in Spanish? The informal way is ¿Cómo estás? And the formal way is ¿Cómo está usted? So here are some other ways you can ask someone how you're doing in Spanish. How it's going? ¿Cómo te va? What's up? ¿Qué tal? What's happening? ¿Qué pasa? So repeat after me. ¿Cómo te va? ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué pasa? Muy bien. So here is some more vocabulary. What could you say if someone asks you one of the questions? So if they ask you, what's up? How are you? How's it going? All right, here are some responses in Spanish. You can say well, thanks, which is bien, gracias. You can say very well in Spanish, muy bien. As always, como siempre. I am sick. Now, if you're a male and you want to respond by saying I am sick, you say estoy enfermo. Estoy enfermo. If you're a woman or if you're a female and you want to say I'm sick, you use estoy enferma. Estoy enferma. If you want to say I'm okay, so, you can say más o menos. Más o menos. All good? Todo bien. Nothing? Nada. If someone is unwell, you can say lo siento, which is I'm sorry. So if your friend Pedro says estoy enfermo, you can say lo siento, which is I'm sorry. If your friend Susie says estoy enferma, you can say lo siento, which is I am sorry in Spanish. And if you want to be polite and ask, and you? If it's a friend, somebody your age group, a family member, you ask, ¿y tú? And you? ¿Y tú? If it's a teacher or someone who's older than you and you have to be polite, you ask, ¿y usted? ¿Y usted? Muy bien. Now we will go on to farewells in Spanish. You can say goodbye with one of the following phrases. So repeat after me. So you have goodbye in Spanish, adios, adios. You can just say bye, ciao, ciao. See you later or see you soon, hasta luego, hasta luego. See you soon. Hasta pronto. Hasta pronto. Until we see each other again. Hasta la vista. Hasta la vista. See you. Nos vemos. Nos vemos. Until tomorrow. Hasta mañana. Hasta mañana. Repeat after me. So these are the vocabulary words for farewell in Spanish. Adios, chao, hasta luego, hasta pronto, hasta la vista. Remember, the H is silent in Spanish. Remember, for hello, we said hola. So for the H in these vocabulary words, you do not pronounce them. Hasta luego, hasta pronto, hasta la vista. Nos vemos. And the final one, hasta mañana. Muy bien. So here is an activity for you to complete. Complete the following dialogues with the correct Spanish phrase or question. So complete the dialogue with the correct Spanish phrase or question. Let's do this together. The dialogue is between Eduardo and Pedro. So what kind of vocabulary will you use? Will you use the formal or the informal? If you guessed informal, you're correct. So Eduardo and Pedro, they're friends, so they will have to use the informal vocabulary, such as if they want to say, how are you? Okay? So Eduardo says, hola, Pedro. And there is a space there. Pedro responds something Eduardo, and he asks a question. Then Eduardo responds, based on the question Pedro asks, estoy enfermo. ¿Y tú? Pedro responds, and then he says, estoy bien. Eduardo says, hasta pronto, and Pedro says something. So let's do this together. If Eduardo says, Hola Pedro, what can Pedro say? That is a greeting. Good. Pedro can respond by saying, Hola Eduardo. Or he can use Buenos dias, Buenas tardes, or Buenas noches, depending on the time of day. So you can insert any greeting there for Pedro's response. So let's use just hola. Eduardo says, Hola Pedro. So Pedro says, Hola Eduardo. What question do you think Pedro is asking there? The response is there already. Eduardo says, Estoy enfermo. ¿Y tú? So what is the question? What is estoy enfermo? Good. Estoy enfermo is I am sick. So what would be the question that Pedro asks in Spanish? Muy bien. Pedro would ask, ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? How are you? So Eduardo says, Estoy enfermo. ¿Y tú? If somebody is sick, what would be your response in Spanish? Lo siento. So that can be written there in the space provided. So Pedro responds by saying, Lo siento. And then he answers the question, ¿Y tú? Which is and you. And he says, Estoy bien. I am well, or I'm good. Then Eduardo says, Hasta pronto. So that is a farewell. He says, see you soon. And Pedro, what can he respond by saying? He can say hasta pronto, he can say adios, or any farewell vocabulary. Very good. So here you have the dialogue, the completed dialogue. Hola Pedro. Pedro says, Hola Eduardo, ¿cómo estás? Eduardo says, Estoy enfermo. ¿Y tú? Pedro will respond by saying, Lo siento, estoy bien. Eduardo gives a farewell, hasta pronto, and Pedro responds, hasta pronto. All right, or you can give any of the farewell phrases in Spanish. This is your homework. So we looked at basic greetings, and we looked at some more greetings in terms of asking someone how they're doing and their various ways, and also give a farewell in Spanish. So you have a summary of the vocabulary that you would have learned in the last two lessons. So draw a line from the Spanish word to match it with its English translation. Can you remember all the meanings? Buena suerte, good luck. So that is your homework. Gracias por su atención. Hasta la próxima clase. Thank you for your attention, and until next class.